As the Union government prepares to present the budget for financial year 2027 on February 1, a key question is surfacing. What happened to the promises made in last year's budget? Reports in the Financial Express and Economic Times show that several major announcements from the 2025-26 budget remain either unimplemented or only partially operationalized, despite the financial year nearing its end. These delays cut across crucial sectors: startups, agriculture, employment and urban infrastructure. So what exactly is stuck and why does it matter? Let's break it down. Number 1. Startup Fund of Funds. Announced but not operational. In the 2025-26 budget, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a revamped fund of funds for startups, with an expanded scope and a fresh government contribution of Rs 10,000 crores. The idea was simple: provide capital to alternative investment funds, which would then invest in startups, especially at early and growth stages. However, nearly a year later, the new tranche of Rs 10,000 crore has not been operationalized. Why? According to the Financial Express, final guidelines are still pending and some aspects of the scheme are awaiting cabinet clearance. For startups already facing tight funding conditions, this delay has meant continued uncertainty, even as the government speaks of promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. Second, agriculture mission still on paper. Agriculture was another big focus area in last year's budget, but several promised initiatives are yet to take off. These include the Cotton Productivity Mission, enhanced agricultural credit through Kisan credit cards, the National Mission on High-Yielding Seeds. Despite being announced with much emphasis, these programs have not yet been implemented. This matters because these schemes were meant to boost crop productivity, reduce input costs, and improve farmer incomes. With implementation delays, farmers continue to wait for benefits that were promised nearly a year ago. Third, job creation schemes struggle to deliver. Employment was another key pillar of the 2025-26 budget. The government launched the Employment-Linked Incentive (ELI) scheme in July 2025, aimed at encouraging companies to create more formal jobs. The expectation was that MSMEs, India's biggest job creators, would drive the scheme. But that hasn't happened. According to reports, participation from MSMEs has been lackluster. As a result, the scheme has failed to gain momentum. Without strong uptake from smaller businesses, the scheme's impact on job creations remained limited. Number 4. PM Internship Scheme. Low acceptance, high dropouts. Another employment-related initiative, the Prime Minister Internship Scheme (PMIS), has also struggled. The scheme, similar in intent to the ELI, entered its pilot phase in October 2024, but early data is worrying. Only 20% of the candidates accepted internship offers. Nearly 20% dropped out during the pilot phase. The reasons: domicile issues and long training duration of 12 months. This raises questions about whether the scheme is aligned with the realities and expectations of young job seekers. Number 5. Rs 1 lakh crore Urban Challenge Fund still waiting. Perhaps the most significant pending announcement is the Urban Challenge Fund. In the February 2025 budget, Sitharaman announced a Rs 1 lakh crore fund to develop cities as growth hubs, redevelop brownfield sites and improve water supply and sanitation in 100 cities. The government even allocated Rs 10,000 crore for the fund in its budget estimates. Yet, 11 months later, the fund is still not operational. According to the Economic Times, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has prepared a project pipeline. Proposals from at least 15 states have been received, but cabinet approval for the fund's guidelines is still pending. Until that approval comes through, fund allocation cannot begin. When asked in Parliament, the government has only said that the schemes are under consideration and that eligibility norms will be finalized after approval. Why these delays matter? Budgets are not just about announcements, they are about execution. When flagship schemes remain stuck in approvals, face weak participation or fail to translate into real benefits, they weaken policy credibility and delay economic impact. As budget financial year 2027 approaches, expectations are growing, not just for new promises but for clarity, accountability and timeline on old ones. The big question now is, will the upcoming budget fix these implementation gaps or add more unfulfilled announcements to the list?